this week, for my fangirl moment, I have a guest, Marisa DiMattia, who runs the website Needled, which is a tattoo nerd blog. So she's been actually working on a project that's all about tattoos and sex.
Which is why I'm here.
Yes. So I want to hear all about that.
Well, it started out because with the popularity of tattooing these days, no one's really talking about the really primal reasons why we get tattooed. You know, they're all talking about like
kind of like moving around.
Yeah, they're all talking about like Kat Von D's colon cleanse or, you know, Ami James's hot bod, which is fine. But like when you think about tattooing, it's an intimate act. I mean, you know, you're leaning in to somebody, you're taking clothes off. How could you not think of sex when you're getting tattooed? And yet the discourse on sex and tattooing is bare. If I could say bare.
You can. Okay, so in this study, you've actually sent around these questionnaires to people. And what kind of stuff have you been asking them?
What happened was I put out a call on needle.com on the blog, and I asked people to tell me about their sex life and how it relates to tattooing, whether they feel more attractive, sexier, if they actually go out and want to sleep with tattooed people, or it doesn't make any difference, whether somebody's tattoos can actually be like a form of birth control. You know, like what I heard a lot in the responses was like Tasmanian devil, deal breaker.
Right.
And so
very important.
But and also of course racist tattoos and sexist tattoos and certain certain subject matter of tattoos can act as a barrier, but can also act as a topic of conversation to actually approach somebody and make them more approachable. I know in my own personal experience, as I get older, I get more tattooed, and I've never been approached sexually by more people. Even when I was younger with a tighter body and less wrinkles, you know, and now I'm like, I'm doing really well, and I'm married, you know, maybe that's it too. But seriously, there is that component of sexual attractiveness. So that's one of the first questions that I asked. The second question I asked in the survey is about that relationship between the client and the tattoo artist. I'm not just talking about, you know, stepping into a street shop and getting something off the wall, sticking on, and bim, bam, you're out, you know. I'm talking about developing a relationship for bigger work, for more custom artistic tattooing. And with that time spent in the chair, there's an intimacy between the artist and the client. I mean, it's undeniable, just because you're in someone's physical space. Again, the various states of undress you may be in and the time talking to that person. So my questions were also about, is there an attraction that develops between you and your tattoo artist? Do you choose a tattoo artist based on whether they're hot or not? Some people thought that I was an idiot for asking this question, but if you look at the responses, not such an idiot. Okay, because a lot of people said, yeah, you know, at a convention, for example, you know, they're looking around at the booths, and if they see two portfolios that kind of look the same, they're going to pick the hotter tattoo artist if they're going to sit there for a couple hours and talk and maybe flirt a little bit. I also heard from tattoo artists who told me about how hard it is to stay faithful sometimes when you have a constant barrage of clients that are flirting or feel a connection. Some said it's almost like a therapist-patient relationship, except tattoo artists tend to be infinitely hotter than your shrink. So that was the second question. For the third question, I got straight down to it. Are you aroused when getting tattooed? Have you ever experienced orgasm when getting tattooed? And yes, people have come, you know, during a tattoo session, a very small amount. I mean, if it happened frequently, you'd see everybody walking around in bodysuits, you know. But yes, it does happen, and arousal, if not orgasm, is a big part of it. Although I have to say, the majority said, "I'm just focusing on not moving during the whole thing." So it depends on who you're talking to. But for many, it was. It's a highly erotic act, tattooing.
I mean, the first tattoo I got is on my back, and I definitely found it to be an erotic experience. I didn't have an orgasm when it was happening, but it was definitely like...
Did you get aroused?
Yeah, because...
Really?
Well, because it's my back, and that's an erotic part of my body for me, but it's also that, like you said, the intimacy and the flesh, and although I'm not really into BDSM, like, the intense sensation of someone, like, doing something like that to my body for me is erotic or can be, but other times it's like, oh, get the fuck off of me. So
it's about that fourth hour, you know.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be fangirly on you.
Yay! I'm a fangirl too.